Have you ever done something meaning to do one thing, but ended up causing an unfortunate unintended consequence? For most people, there's no moral guilt in these situations. Your intentions were good, and you can't be held responsible for something you didn't even know was going to happen. But what if that unintended consequence was actually something that was morally objectionable, and you even knew it was going to happen, but acted anyway? Before you jump into the confessional or fail to act for fear of sin, you might want to investigate what moral theologians call the principle of double effect. This is Catholicism in Focus. Say you're sitting at home bored with nothing to do because you've already watched all of Breaking in the Habit's videos on YouTube and Instagram and read each of the weekly blog posts. Hint. And you decide to call one of your friends to see how they're doing. Unfortunately, you didn't realize that they were in an important meeting and forgot to turn off their phone.
So it's sort of a weird contrast. That is so embarrassing. That is my phone.
While your intention was to alleviate your boredom and catch up with a friend, your action actually caused your friend's embarrassment and didn't even alleviate your boredom. While unfortunate, most would say that you're not morally responsible for anything. Your intention was for something good, and embarrassment, though unfortunate, is not morally objectionable. But what if the situation in question did cause something morally objectionable or evil, albeit accidentally? And what if you even knew it was going to happen before you acted? The classic example presented by St. Thomas Aquinas is of self-defense. Someone's attacking you, and to save your life, you fight back, causing your attacker pain, maybe even killing them. In this case, the consequence of your returning force is not exactly unintended, nor is it morally neutral. When you fight back, you are willfully doing something that might hurt your attacker. Believe it or not, moral theologians say that one's moral culpability may not actually be any different in these cases. Citing the principle of double effect, a concept introduced by Aquinas himself in his Summa Theologia, theologians point out that every act has intended and unintended consequences, hence double effect. Good, bad, or neutral, there are always an infinite number of unintended effects for each action. Since no one can be responsible for all the unintended consequences of an action, all you can be held responsible for are the consequences that you actually will. If you will something good, say the protection of your life, but something evil comes of it, say the pain or death of your attacker, you cannot be morally responsible for the unintended evil consequence because that was not your primary intention. That's not to say that ignorance, recklessness, or any good intention frees us from the responsibility of sin, though, or that anything in the name of self-defense is morally permissible. You didn't think you'd get off that easily, did you? In order to apply the principle of double effect, 4 conditions need to be met. The act in question must be good or neutral in itself. If what you're doing is bad by its nature, it doesn't matter what the effects are, the principle doesn't apply. The starting point has to be a good or neutral act, like the will to save one's life. The good effect is intended, not the bad one. Sometimes people try to flip the principle around and will a bad act in order to produce a good effect. In Catholic moral theology, that's not the way things work. The ends do not justify the means. Even though the same external act can be committed, the use of force that results in the death of an attacker, there's a big difference between acting to save one's life and acting in order to cause someone pain or death. Intention matters. The good and bad effects have to occur simultaneously. When weighing moral acts, one cannot consider what may or may not happen in the future or as a result of other acts. All that's important is what will directly and immediately result from an action. The effects have to have a proportionate relationship to one another. The positive willed effect of one's action has to be equal to or greater than the unintended negative effect that could result. If someone's attacking you, using force against the attacker to prevent them from causing you harm is justified, even if it causes the attacker's death. Detonating a bomb that would save your life, but may also take the lives of more than just the attacker, would not be justified. While the technicalities of the principle may be a bit confusing or seem like mental gymnastics to defend an action, at its core is something extremely simple and important. We are always called to will what is good. Although we can't always know the ways in which our words and actions may ripple out into the world, and the many effects and consequences we may have on others, we can control the love and goodness we put into every action. The principle of double effect should not be seen as a get-out-of-jail-free card or a way to justify our dicey actions, but rather a protection and a guide, allowing us to live the gospel with conviction and love, even when faced with difficult moral situations. Thanks to John Walsh and all the Patreon patrons for supporting this mission here at Breaking in the Habit. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and check out Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for weekly pictures, blog posts, and quick questions answered by me.